I grew up in Africa, so there I was the minority. I was treated differently because of the color of my skin. I was robbed twice because of the color of my skin. One time at gunpoint. I was about 10 years old the first time I saw someone beaten up. He had stolen a camera. He was beaten by police. I had racial terms thrown at me quite frequently, and some of them were meant kindly, some of them were not meant so kindly. I was expected to behave certain ways because of the color of my skin. I was expected to be of a certain financial status because of the color of my skin. Because of my experience being raised in a country where my skin color made me a target, I was afraid of police. My father has been wrongly arrested twice for walking somewhere. When I was 11 or 12 years old, we gave a soldier a ride in our car. We were told at the time that we were not allowed to travel without an escort. He locked and loaded his weapon at some point during the trip. Because of my experiences with police officers and watching them walk around with AK-47s and knowing that my skin color made me a target for them, it was very difficult to trust law enforcement growing up. To this day, when I see them, my heart races. Even though I'm in America, even though in this country, my skin color places me in a position of privilege, I still struggle to get over the heart racing and the fear when I see law enforcement. Now, I'm not using my story to say I have it as bad as people of darker skin colors in this country. Not at all. What I'm saying is that if I struggle in this country for fear of law enforcement because of something that happened to me 10 years ago or more, how much more difficult must it be to walk down the street every single day for people who are still going through it, who still have to live with the fear of their skin color making them a target, of their skin color making people assume things about them, say horrible things about them, just because of the color of their skin. Now, I don't know what you're supposed to do about the race issue in this country. I'm not God, I'm not your mama, and I don't know what you need to do. But what I think I should do is do my individual part to stand up for those who have been standing up for themselves for a long time and expecting them to live through their trauma every single day and to also advocate for themselves seems a bit unfair. And so I'm going to be kind to the people of darker skin colors, not because their skin is darker, but because they're human beings. And I love them just as I would love anybody else. And when I see instances of racism, even subtle racism, I'm gonna say something because I'm tired of not saying something. When I was a server at a restaurant during my college days, I had just gotten a table and I was serving them, and then the hostess came and said, "Hey Abby, you're also gonna get this table over there." And I said, "Why?" I just got seated and there's like 4 other servers on the floor. Well, why did I get this table? And the hostess said, "Well, it was so-and-so's turn, but the table specifically said that they didn't want to be served by a Hispanic person." And that shook me. And I regret to this day that I served them. I said nothing. Now, I may not have been extra polite, my extra polite bubbly self like I usually was, but I didn't stand up for my friend. And that's been something that I've carried, and it's not something that I can easily make up for, but I can do the right thing now. Recently, a Facebook friend shared a video where the subjects of the video were African American and they were doing something less than kind. And his comment was, when he shared the video, was, "I'm not racist, but this is ridiculous." Something along those lines. And now, I don't think that this person is overtly racist. I don't think he tells Hispanic servers that he doesn't want them to serve him or anything like that. But I do think that we are past the point of those subtle acts of racism being okay. People who have had to deal with discrimination and horrible acts of violence for hundreds and hundreds of years, we're over being able to be subconscious with our anti-racism. It needs to be conscious. So again, I don't know if my story is going to change anybody's minds. I don't know if it's going to bring any perspective, but I am grateful for the perspective it gives me, and I will continue to being a loving advocate for people who are disadvantaged because of their skin color or because of their financial situation. It's one of the missions of my ministry is to reach people with services and give them humanity and dignity that they deserve anyway. I'm not doing something extra kind. I'm giving them what they should have anyway. And I'm going to keep doing it.